Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Productions. Today I bankrupt you once again by Jimmy, Jake, and Austin.
Nah, no, you're not.
What's going on, y'all?
Austin's not here. Shut up, Austin.
Here.
No,
No, screw you. No, screw you.
no, get out of here.
I can't say the F word, otherwise this video will be demonetized.
No, go ahead and say it.
No, we got
It's not
13.
we're not getting paid for it. Bancroft's the only one that's lining his pockets with this money. So like,
You take
say
it
it all
as
you want.
sushi money.
It is sushi money, guys. Today's matchup.
Yeah, whatever you say.
Today's matchup is me versus Adam. Adam cannot join us today, unfortunately. He's one of our newer guys. And I'm bringing Manekian, Piccolo because.
What was that, Manekians?
Manekians, yeah.
Manekians,
yeah, thanks. Speech impediment went up.
Nams.
I brought Piccolo because, once again, I felt like no one was going to play this deck, and I wanted to at least get some form of showcase on it, so I put it together. And like I said, no one else wanted to even play it. I think Aaron built it, and he's like, nah, I'm good.
He said it was really fun and I could be consistent, and then he just decided not to play it anymore.
I'm gonna dox him a little bit here. I was texting him about it one night, and he was like, "Oh, like I think I'm gonna play Piccolo." He's like, "What do you think about like in this card in the list?" And I'm like, "Just don't play the list." I was like, "You could run, like the fuse with nail package, like that's pretty good, and then like." It's kind of on theme with like the fuse with Kami, and then I was like, or you could just not play the deck. And I think he took my advice after actually playing the deck.
So, Adam is playing Bibbidi, but turn 1 plays Cataplesia?
Catapesla,
yeah.
Space Cop.
And it really threw me off because I had no idea what to
Yeah.
expect from this point on.
That's strange.
But it kind of makes sense. The deck, you want to get rid of cards. That card can bring cards back to your hand. So if you're just playing the 1 and 4 drops, that's not a bad combo.
That's fair, yeah.
And he's got the Boo in energy, so he's still playing like some amount of Boo chain as well. So I'm really interested to see where this game goes.
Yeah, I played him in round 1, and it was a very similar starting of him playing the one-drop Catapesla, and I just like looked across the table, and I'm like, I'm just going to pretend I didn't see that, and I'm just going to play the game like I would normally, because I was shitting my pants as soon as seeing the Catapesla, because I was like, I need to tap out on turn 2, I'm just going to fucking die.
Yeah. So this Piccolo on swing, you put one underneath him. You draw one, then you look up the top 5 cards of the deck, add up to 1 yellow or green Manekian to your hand. There is no restriction to the cost. So I'll just add a Secret Rare to my hand.
Secret is so good. It's so
Seems
fun.
seems good.
I think Jimmy was sitting beside me, and I was just like, look at this hand. Look at this 5 cards. So here I'm kind of just make sure it has Manekian, God, Gohan, Saiyan, I think, or Earthling. It has a lot of different tags. So for those who aren't familiar with Piccolo, I'll kind of go over it real quick. You want to play 1-drops, and those 1-drops will go into bigger cards. One of the best ways of doing that is following it up with Dende, and I feel comfortable playing a 1-drop now, even though I know if Bibbidi is awakened, it could just eat it. But I felt like he had a good hand. I was expecting more the Space Police engine. Then I was like, okay, cool. I can put the 1-drop out. He probably won't awaken this turn, and then on my following turn, I'll kind of go into more stuff after that. But this Unison, in my opinion, I feel like in order for this deck to work, you need to use this Unison because it allows you to play the 1-drops for free. But it's so weak. It's only a +1 to play a 1-drop. I think for being a 1000, it would have benefited being like a +2 or something. Because it just be so easily taken care of, unfortunately.
Especially with other Unisons at 1 cost, like being so much better, and other Unisons with +2s having a such higher base power. It's like...
And right there, he takes care of it. And I can't combo on my turn. I tapped out to play the 1-drop, and now I'm in a situation. Okay, cool. Well, I got the 1-drop out already, so from this point on, I'm kind of good. I could benefit on my engine and whatnot.
For some reason, I forgot Bivity can attack before he, awakens.
Mm-hmm. It's a 5,000 boost and draw a card.
Forgot about that.
It's actually kind of good.
Yeah.
This leader's, I think Bibity is one of those kind of underrated leaders that that people see its no hand function of the leader as like a massive downside, and nobody wants to experiment with this leader, even though I think it has a ton of potential. The deck, in my opinion, if you're not playing the Buu chain or maybe you probably just run like the Catapesla chain, it'd play a lot like the starter Broly deck, where you're constantly wanting to dump your hand because you'll get your draw 6 on the backside if you have 0 cards in hand. Same thing with Bibity, where you don't get the draw mid-turn, you're going to get it at the end of the turn, which can kind of be a problem because you're not going to know what you get in your hand. You don't know if you're going to get the defensive package or if you're going to get a more aggressive package that would suit you earlier on in the turn. But I think it's a super, super underrated leader, and I'd like to see more lists utilizing this leader that's not inherently the Buu chain.
I think, too, doesn't like awaken early by just dumping your entire hand.
So I would say that the only way for it to awaken is for you to have no cards in your hand. It has it has no utter condition. So I'm feeling more comfortable swinging into his leader, giving him more cards in his hand to make it harder for him to dump those cards out. And I did use a Final Flash on the leader swing, but I blinked his 4-drops ability, so that way it doesn't have barrier anymore. So when I play this 3-drop, it will just pop it.
Yeah, it's pretty smart.
And this way it gets rid of a problematic card on his board that I have to constantly worry about. It's a dual attack with barrier. Now it's gone, and I can just go straight to his leader.
Yeah, and the issue too he has is his leader's a 5k, you said, right?
It gets a 5k boost on swings.
Yeah, it's a base 10k, so it goes up to 15k on swing.
Never mind, I thought it was a base 5k. I was like, man, that's rough to defend on the unawakened side.
And I didn't talk about this real quick. The leader's awakened side has a permanent where it allows you to pull cards from underneath the leader when you go to pay for Union Absorb card, which is really great because normally it's either from the board or from the hand when the cards are specified. But in this case, I could just use the card underneath my leader to kind of go there as well. So that way I'm keeping my hand where I need to keep it.
What unison do you use in this deck?
So I play 4 Dendays because they're part of the engine, and it's obviously the first time I'm playing this deck, so I'm kind of trying to showcase the archetype as much as possible. But I also put attacking 2 of the 3-drop unison trunks because they're board wipe cards and they can add good pressure as well.
Yeah, just a really solid choice.
I was wondering if you could throw in the Super Saiyan 3 Vegito, the green one, because it's green-yellow.
So
and you need absorb, draw you more cards.
All the cards that are green are pretty much green-yellow. There's only one card in this deck that is pure green, and that is Piccolo Assembly Assault, I think it's called. I might be wrong on that one.
Assimilated Assault. Assimilated Ability.
Ability, yes, thank you. And that can be played off one of the 1-drops for 2 energy, which is really great because it specifies a 4-drop green Piccolo, and in the actual set itself, there is a 4-drop green-yellow card, which is actually underneath my 3-drop right now. I did not incorporate the U6 package in this deck with the those 2 1-drops and their 3-drop counterparts. Instead, I added in the Lord Slug yellow package just because they're neckings that can be searched. I do play Assimilate. I think that's what the card's called. That searches for a yellow or a necking in entry cost 2 or less. So I can bring the 1-drops to my hand very nicely or very quickly. But as you can see here, he's established a unison and managed to pretty much have no cards left in his hand. So here's where it gets a little bit tricky. And now I have to kind of play my cards a little bit differently because I'm checking his drops to see what he can play. And the only thing that's available right now to play is the 6-drop, which is actually really good because it stops your opponent from drawing cards outside from a leader. And I completely forgot about that. And I'm like, it's going to be an issue.
Yeah, it says the Super Mechian player. But one of the kind of downsides of the Bibity leader into Majin Buu is that you do have to strike 2 life, and if you're low on life, that is a massive problem. But the front side does get the 5k power boost, so you're defending as a 10k leader, but you're not attacking as a 10k leader. So if your opponent does aggro you down, your leader is kind of lackluster, but it still functions like a majority of the leaders in the game. But he was not exactly in a position where taking 2 life was going to straight kill him, so still got a lot of value off that awakening.
He managed to have the just good combo cards in his hand to pretty much stop me from getting him any lower than he wanted to go to.
Mm-hmm.
He's swinging with the 1-drop.
No, he swung he played the 2-drop. He swung that. Now he's swinging with the 6-drop. Oh yeah, he's
swinging with the 1-drop to dump his hand, to get the draw up on the leader at the end of the turn.
Yeah. It serves 2 purposes. I mean, pretty much it's a 15k now, if I recall correctly. And if I want to get rid of it, I have to get rid of 1 card in my hand, or I go down to 2 life.
Mm-hmm.
And the cards in my hand, I had a couple of. I know I had at this time 2 Mecha Freezes, but I hadn't had a chance to play any of my extra cards. So it doesn't cost. It costs 3 still right now, unfortunately.
It's rough.
And there is an extra card that comes from the set that's either during your opponent's turn, or it's an activate battle. It gives one. It specifies choose one of your mechanics in your battle area, give it 1,000 power, and restand it. Does not work for the leader, unfortunately. But you can activate main to pay 1, if I recall correctly. I think it specifies during your turn. You choose one of your mechanics. I don't think it specifies battle area, but it gives them a power boost of 5,000 up to 15,000 for every card underneath that said card, and then it gives them double strike, which is really nice. But at the same time, I didn't know what else he was going to push with, and I just had to hold on to it until when I could play it.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at this board thinking that Final Flash early on felt like a really solid play, and now you're just really hoping you run into another one to get through this big 6-drop.
Because, yeah, like I said, I can't, I played Assimilate, even though I couldn't add a card in my hand. I think I still should have shuffled, though. Per the card, the word in the card, you had to look through your deck. But I just didn't even bother looking into it. I'm like, I'm just going to play this card with no effect, pretty much.
At least it gets the extra card to your drop area, so your freezes are 1 cost now, combined with that Final Flash you spent earlier.
Yeah. And as you can see, when I swung the leader that time, I got to a point where I got very low on hand. I had to combo off a Menekian, and that was a mistake. I was trying to hang on to the Mecha Freezes as much as possible, just so I could use them on his turns. So I chose to combo off a 1-drop Piccolo. Then on leader swing, I don't have a Menekian card that I want to put underneath it to get the draw 2 off of, unless I want to get rid of that super combo from earlier that I pulled to my hand.
It's a nice poutine here.
Yes. Definitely comes in handy. But as we talked about before in other videos, if you could bait that poutine's auto, it's perfect. And he managed to have a 1-drop Majin Buu that allowed him to just play it, search for another 2-drop, and then he's good from that point on.
Did he hard cast this Buu?
I don't... Yes.
Yeah, so poutine actually couldn't...
Yeah.
Well, if he would have... actually, yeah. Sorry. Majin Buu shouldn't have been tapped.
No.
Well, he would have... Yeah. Yeah. Either way, he's got a lot of pressure on you here, and tapping down that 5k didn't really stop too much, I don't think.
Yeah.
Because he's still got his leader swing if he needs to dump his hand here.
Or just the leader's ability. He chooses...
Oh, he's already dumped his hand, yeah.
So he could have swung leader here. Then that's a misplay on our part, unfortunately. Because poutines, when they activate counter or play a card with a skill. And it was more or less when he went to play higher up, but I guess in that moment, of where I'm not drawing Manekins. I'm kind of in a rough spot, and I don't think I even charge here because I'm still not drawing anything I need to draw into.
AKA Bancroft trying to cheat.
Unintentionally. Yeah. So
nah, intentionally. That one drop was really going to fuck you up, I swear.
So here, I think I'm swinging into the 6-drop, comboing because he has 5 cards tapped. And just trying to add pressure to that 6-drop. And this puts my leader to 45. He only drew into 5 cards. And I'm so, like, thrown off by the 6-drop affecting me that I do something that I believe may affect me later game. But I want to get rid of it. And just in case he's able to combo out of it, I do a final flash, get the power boost, clear it out. Now I can draw on my play and swing with this card here.
Yeah, I would have made the same play.
And here, I think I'm just going to do some board cleanup. I'm trying to get rid of problematic stuff. I don't want to give him any more life, more cards in his hand.
So I guess I missed it. Why do you have 3 energy and he has 4?
I chose not to charge.
Okay.
The Majin Buu was starving him out of card draw, and rather than charging, he decided he needed cards in his hand.
I got you.
And I still have the ability as a defensive measure. I haven't done it yet in this match, but the Piccolo does have an activate battle where you could send a card from underneath him to the drop area. I think give him a 5,000 boost, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, it's similar to like the spirit boost on the yellow Dripku. Kind of like that theme they've done with this set. They've given a lot of the leaders extra defense like that, an extra way to like you need that little bit extra boost.
So here he swings. I immediately negate. And I think, yeah, so this doesn't come back, unfortunately, and bite me, aka how Jimmy phrases it, I like to cheat. It's unintentional, but because the poutine was thrown off in my mindset because of what's been happening right now, and he's paying these cards skills naturally, 2-drop got tapped.
Wow.
Now, where this changes a little bit, the card he plays as a skill does not get tapped. Where, thinking back on it, maybe it should have been tapped instead of what he paid 2 for.
Maybe that would have helped you out more.
Quite possibly.
Bancroft out here cheating to lose.
I still take the damage, but it shouldn't have been that way, unfortunately. And I do apologize for that. But here,
it happens.
This 25k crit isn't tapped.
Oof.
So
that's rough.
Yeah, I think it kind of bounces out. Unfortunately, I messed up on the poutine, but I think it benefits him in the end. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I rather would have took the 15k.
Yeah. This deck, when it first came out, would stress me out so much. Our player, the locals, Trevor, played it a whole lot. Majin Buu is one of their characters. And God, I remember just seeing him slap that hand down, then awaken, and then all of a sudden all this pressure coming out. It's so absurd. I think this deck is still an underrated black deck right now, like Jimmy was saying.
It's a phenomenal deck.
Yeah.
Dark used to play all the time. I actually did enjoy playing it as well. And it still holds up. Like, it's super aggro. It could go out pretty quickly. He after the match, he kind of talked. He's like, he always feels like if it goes to turn 5, that's like perfect for him. And here, we're kind of going over what he could play. He still has 2 additional energies. So it doesn't matter what I do in this situation. He's able to just activate main, swap out, swing, tap an energy, swap out, swing, tap an energy. And my hand's getting lower and lower, and I have nothing that I can actually defend myself with. I do have an Oceanus in my hand, but I just have to use it as a combo. And I'll here explain the
Man.
2 life I got were the exact 2 cards in my hand, so they didn't benefit me at all, unfortunately. And
no.
those activate battles don't work with the leader. It only works with cards in the battle area. Now, I did think about, oh, maybe I could just activate it, resend the super combo. I'm like, no, once you leave the battle area, it's gone. So, like, even if I try to combo with it, it doesn't matter, unfortunately.
Yeah, it'll leave play and you lose your big attacker.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, misplay my part, but in the end, it benefits him more than it did me any good. And I tried to showcase Piccolo. I just got Majin Buu out the ass. I'm gonna pass it off now.
Just another case of AOP out here cheating for no goddamn reason. That wasn't even the damn finals of Bancroft playing it like it was Gen Con. Can't even believe this shit, bro.
I've never once cheated at Gen Con. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you cheat the fuck.
If you take Piccolo at Gen Con, then I think you're allowed to cheat.
Hey, Bancroft, what
That wasn't Gen Con.
what energy cost is Further Destruction Champa?
Can someone end the video?
No,
Read your cards on your place fluff out.
3 cost.